opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Down here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? Carry ID around?
Yes, I have a good ID.
That was so
Do you
racist.
carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Yeah, everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that.
See, this is what the liberals want you to think. This is what Congress, the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party want you to think, that black people don't have capabilities of carrying ID. They don't have IDs. They don't know where to go to get IDs. This is the thing that they have been saying over and over again. And you'll see this nonsense on CNN as well. You'll hear Abby Phillips talk about it. You hear Don Lemon talk about it. You hear all these liberals talk about how black people don't know how to get ID or they can't afford to get ID. It goes to show you how warped the mind is on that side. You heard these women in the beginning and men claim that black people couldn't get ID, and black people after black person tell you they have ID. Ridiculous. I'm Terrence Mann, and this is my thoughts uncut. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. This is hilarious.
Black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that. It's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Do you have a problem getting there if you have to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
They're looking at him like, why is he asking us these stupid questions? Like, any adult should know how to get there and get, it's an ID. I know how to get an ID. I can't really buy anything or really live anywhere without an ID. This is how absurd the left is, because you're getting asked this. And black people got to wake up. We need to wake up as a whole and understand this is how they view us. They think that we're so dumb that we can't get ID. We don't know how to get ID. We don't have the financial means to get IDs. And all these black people are like, why are you asking me this question? Where's the camera? Like the hidden camera. They think this is a joke. It's not. This is what the liberals think. And the way that they view black people and think about black people is extremely racist. They claim that conservatives are racist, but they're the ones that are racist. And the way they think about us as a whole is racist as hell.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it.
They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can access the internet
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's my thought
Ignorant,
process.
I just think that's
racist.
ignorant.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm
Very,
hearing
very
a lot.
ignorant.
Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
And he's not asking just us. He's asking multiple different types of black people, young, old, men and women. So it's not like he's just targeting a certain age group. He's asking all of it. So the variables are all different, but they're all saying the same thing. And this is just a testament of when you actually talk to black people, they're like, what do you mean internet? I don't have access. Like the one young guy that looks like he was either in high school or college was like, even young kids can have access to the internet. They're laughing and looking at him so awkwardly because they're not really believing that he's serious about these questions. That should tell you something.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You judging somebody, like, but you judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
People are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are you
Love
cool?
showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to another source. We're going to go to Fox News, and we're also going to see CNN, where they actually show the pollings that are in favor of voter ID across the board.
There's so many Democrats so strongly opposed to the SAVE Act, which would simply require proof of citizenship and voter ID to be eligible to vote. Now, of course, the left is diving back into their failed playbook. I tell you, this happens every election year, every 2 years, every 4 years. Chucky Schumer leading the way, decrying the legislation, Jim Crow 2.0. You hear it every 2 years, you hear it every 4 years. Here you go again.
The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
Complete lie. This legislation is anything but Jim Crow 2.0. And the concept of photo ID to vote.
And this is what black people, when we hear this rhetoric, when we hear them compare something like this to where I've never in my lifetime heard a black person that said that having ID for anything, especially voting for an election, whether it's the midterms or for the presidency or your local, just your voting locally, they've never said it was racist, ever. And for him to say this is Jim Crow 2.0, where Jim Crow was segregating black people from white people, where you had your own bathrooms, blacks only bathroom, whites only bathroom, disenfranchising principles against black people. It doesn't make, and for school and housing, that's how it was back then for Jim Crow. And for him to try to compare the same, it's a disgrace and it's a spit in the face to black people that actually suffered during that time, who experienced Jim Crow. They continuously do this. They compare illegal immigration to slavery, another spit in the face to what our ancestors went through. We need to start coming out. We need to protest against that kind of stuff. We need to be on social media talking about that kind of stuff and tagging these congressmen and women who say these things and writing them and calling them and protesting where they work. Ridiculous.
Is actually very popular. Don't take my word for it. Even fake news CNN admitted it has bipartisan support and it crosses all demographics. Take a listen.
What are we talking about here? So take a look here. Favor voter ID to vote. Look, I got all this polling on the screen going back since 2018. You'll notice on all of it, it's all north of 75%, 76%, 76%, 76%, 81%, and then 83% in the last year of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj. They favor photo ID.
Look at that. All the way back to 2018, it's been in the high 70s. Now it's in the 80s of voter ID. This is America. This is not just one party. They're asking multiple people. It doesn't make sense not to have voter ID. Why would you want someone that's not a U.S. citizen voting on your behalf? They shouldn't have skin in the game if they're not U.S. citizen.
To be able to vote. But even 71% of Democrats favor photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of...
That right there tells you 81% of Democrats, his own party he represents, are saying, no, we believe in voter ID. So he's not listening to the people, which is his job, is to listen to the people. 85% white, 82% Latino, 76% black. So he's not listening. Chuck Schumer and the Democratic Party, they're not listening to the people. They have their own agenda that they're trying to push, and they're ignoring, disregarding what the people actually want. That is a dictator. That is fascism. They're not listening to the people, and they want to scream and kick and whine and cry about how Trump is a dictator and he doesn't do what the American people want him to do, which we voted for. We voted for everything he's doing. But you aren't listening to the people that voted for you and vote for the Democratic side when they say, no, we want voter ID. You're not listening to them. What you're listening to, who you're listening to, allegedly, is the people that put the money in your pockets, the donors, the lobbyists. That's who you're listening to. You're not listening to the people. And that's the shame right there. That's a problem.
Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj.
And that's it. That's the bottom line. This is my final thought. When are we going to see through what the Democratic Party is trying to push? This whole voter ID thing has nothing to do with racism. They're trying to pull on your heartstrings. They're trying to create division and fear by saying that because they want illegal immigrants to be able to vote, because they know that they're going to vote Democrat if they're allowed to vote. They're trying to steal votes. It's all about the census. They're trying to steal electoral votes. That's what they're trying to do. That is the bottom line. That's their only concern, is to stay in power, not to serve the American people, even when it benefits their own party. They don't care. They've never cared. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you for watching My Thoughts Uncut. I'm Terrence Manning, your host. See you later. Peace.